Hi there, it's Marie, and welcome to Real Life on the Homestead in Ontario. Today, I'm going to be making my stuffed zucchini boats. Remember when I vacuum packed those zucchini boats for freezer storage for the winter, and I asked, did you want the recipe that I do when I make them? And an overwhelming yes, we want the recipe. So today, I'm going to share. And if you missed when I showed how to vacuum pack these and freeze them for all winter, I'm going to link that in the description box. So today, follow along. First, I'm going to let them defrost just a bit so I can actually handle them. And you can watch me make this for tonight's supper. I'm going to start off by running a paring knife along the seam of where the joint was for the zucchini. It makes it a lot easier when you do it this way. And it's amazing how easily it comes apart. So here we have, I've taken the bag off. Now I'm just going to place the knife on the seam and you can see it snap. It literally just comes apart so easily. And inside are the guts of my zucchini. Here you have the two boats, and here is all the pieces I took from the inside, and I put them in this freezer bag inside the cavity. Now I'm going to take this out and let it thaw out just a bit, and just going to chop a little tiny bit just to break it up, just help the process along. Now I'm going to need an onion, 2 small tomatoes or 1 large tomato, a couple of cloves of garlic, and I'm going to take this to my stainless steel pan. I've got about a tablespoon of lard in there. I like to use animal fats for cooking. And to my onion, I'm going to add my chopped garlic. I used approximately 2 cloves here. And I'm just going to saute this softly. Now to help draw out some of the moisture from the onions, I do add the salt at this point. And it's a couple of pinches, so let's say maybe half a teaspoon of salt. And I'm just going to saute this very gently to get things going. Now I am ready to add my ground beef. I'm adding 1 pound of our local ground beef from a local ranch. And this is something I like to break up very fine. So you can see here, I'm cooking it down. I have my garlic, my onion, and my ground beef. It was still frozen a little bit in the middle, so I'm just breaking up the meat as I go along. Now I'm adding a good pinch of salt, a good pinch of pepper and paprika. And these are the flavors I like to use anytime I'm seasoning meat. And then to this, I am going to add my herb mix. Now, I do have a video on how I make my herb mix, and I will link that below as well. So it's a good handful. I'd say I put in a good, heaping teaspoon, I'd say. And this is what my mixed herb looks like, just to remind you. And now we're ready to add our chopped tomato. I didn't put in the membranes and the seeds, just the pulp. And of course, the zucchini that I had hollowed out the boats with. Now I'm just going to saute this down just to get everything soft. Doesn't need to be cooked very long at all. And I'm going to let the juices of the vegetables just evaporate a little. Now I'm moving on to add a good handful of breadcrumbs. Now these are just breadcrumbs that I have dried out in the oven and then pulverized them in my food processor. And I just keep a small canister handy for moments like this. This is just a little bit of binding, and what I'm doing is a good handful. So let's say maybe 1/4 cup to 1/2 cup, but not more than that. I don't like my filling to be bready. And to this, I add a good farm fresh egg. Now this just makes it a little bit creamy, and because I'm mixing it in quickly, it just creates a good emulsifier in here. Look how beautiful this looks. I wish you could smell it. Very, very simple. Can't get any easier than that. I place my boats inside a roasting pan, and I just spoon in the filling until I evenly fill up both boats. Now, if you were cooking this with your zucchinis fresh, it would take a little longer to cook in the oven. These are slightly soft from being frozen. I do find that the skin gets a little tougher being frozen, so I tend to like scrape while I'm eating instead of cutting right through the skin and eating that as well. It's just a textural thing, but you do what you like to do. Now, as you can see, the boats are filled nicely, and now all I'm going to do is sprinkle on a good handful of Parmesan cheese. Now, I grate my Parmesan cheese fresh because I think it makes a huge difference. Keep it grated and in the fridge, and then when I need it, I just sprinkle it on as I need. This goes in an oven that's set to 375. First, I keep it covered for the first 15 minutes, and then I remove the cover or the foil, and I let it brown and keep my eye on it. Look how beautiful this is. I use a little bit of broth, about half a cup of broth or white wine, as moisture around the outside. If you were doing these fresh, I would keep the cover on a little longer just to make sure that they get tender. But I find that when they're frozen, they don't need a cover on that long, but they do need to evaporate some of that moisture. But look how beautiful these look, and they smell phenomenal. Thanks for joining us, and if you like this type of content, please make sure that you follow, like, and subscribe to our channel. Thanks a lot, have a great day, and go out, live your very best life, and enjoy the fruits of your garden.